everybody. Happy freaking Super Bowl week, Eagles fans, Chiefs fans, wherever you're watching, guys. I can't believe it is February 7th, the week before the Super Bowl. The Eagles take on the Chiefs. We are breaking down the top matchups to watch. I've got like 20 plus fun prop bets to break down with my guys. Joining us, as always, Shane at half and half _ TPL. What's up, man?
Man, this is so exciting. I can't believe that we're here. We're talking another Super Bowl. I'm so excited to get into it. Normally, my notes for podcasts have 2 sections. I've got 10 tonight, and I'm not going to get through it all, but I'm excited to get into it.
Love it, man. We have so much to talk about tonight. As always, of course, Ryan Reese of Philly Sports Alliance. What's up, Ryan?
The longest week ever. This is just torture for me to try and get to Sunday. This feeling is just, it's indescribable. I am so just my day is just distracted. I can't do any work. Yeah. It's awful. Yeah. I love it. It's such a great feeling to be here, man.
It really hit me yesterday after work. Like, I was like, just like a bag of bricks. It just hit me in the face. Just like, oh my gosh, like, just how many days of work left until the weekend? Right. Because anyway, let's jump right in. We are going to start off with an Eagles versus Chiefs preview, breaking down the top matchups to watch, everything you need to know. And then we're going to get into some fun prop bets while we watch Eagles versus Chiefs, Madden 23 here. So let's start us off. Eagles offense versus the Kansas City Chiefs defense. Shane, I'll throw it to you, man. What's the top matchup?
Before we dive into that, I do just need to preface this and say that the Super Bowl presentation here took a long time. And so this game is dubbed at 1.25 speed. So before Ryan complains about guys running too fast, that one might not be on EA. The 90-yard punts are still on them. But just so we know that up front, these guys are running just a smidge faster. To your question, the biggest matchups, Eagles offense versus Chiefs defense, to me it comes down to the battle in the trenches. The Eagles have rushed for at least 135 yards in 12 games this year. They've gone over 200 yards 5 times. Now, the Chiefs are 8th in rushing yards allowed. They've got Nick Bolton, who is a talented run stopper at linebacker. But I think a lot of their run stopping has come from playing ahead of teams. The Chiefs are 32nd in run stop win rate, and the Eagles are 2nd in run block win rate. The Chiefs ran a light box on 47% of their snaps in the regular season. That's been up to 75% in the playoffs. I don't know how you play a light box against this Eagles defense. I don't think they're going to try it. I saw this on Twitter. At Football Perspective on Twitter said in the 17 games that Hurts has played this year, the Eagles have rushed for more yards than they have allowed passing yards. And this one's even crazier. They have rushed for more yards per carry than they have allowed net passing yards per attempt.
Wow.
That's just insane. And you talk about a clash of styles, that's what we're going to see. And for me, everything about this Eagles offense, it starts up front in the trenches with the running game.
What about you, Ryan?
Yeah, I mean, listen, throughout this season, we have seen this team offensively air it out. And we've seen them run all over the place. This team basically can just see what the defense is giving them and decide how they want to kill the defense. Do they want to air it out? Do they want to just keep throwing the ball? Do they want to run the ball? It does not matter. Now, granted, lately, and especially in this playoffs, they have been running the ball and been running the ball really, really well. And I expect that to continue, just like kind of Shane just said. Their offensive line, Eagles' offensive line, has not only just been the best unit this year, offensive line-wise, they have been dominating and like just punishing other defensive lines. And I expect the same. You know, Chris Jones is certainly a great player. But I fully expect the Eagles offensive line to continue their dominance for the Eagles to continue to run the ball down the throats. And listen, if for whatever reason that doesn't satisfy them, they always have an amazing air option. So I just don't know how the Chiefs defense stops this offense. I honestly don't.
Yep. I'm just echoing what both of you just said, and I kind of alluded to that before the show in our Discord. The Eagles' rushing attack is the first thing I'm talking about tonight, because I'm going to echo that when we get into the Kansas City Chiefs offense and how much it is vital for that Chiefs team to have a strong run game. But going to the Eagles first, let's talk about Eagles first. Super Bowl history as well. In Super Bowl history, the team that finishes the game with the most rushing yards has a 41-14 record. The team that has the most running plays in the Super Bowl has a 47-7 record. Everybody knows the Eagles are going to run the football. They're the fifth best, I think, in the league when it terms of rushing the ball. So for me, I'm really excited to see what the Eagles rushing attack can do against this Kansas City Chiefs defense. Like you said, Ryan, the Eagles have the best offensive line in the entire NFL, and it's clicking on all cylinders. Has played better the last two games that we have seen all season long. Jalen Hurts didn't have his best game against the 49ers, but you cannot take away how critical, how vital that guy is for the Eagles offense and what he means for their run attack. It's massive. And to kind of boil that down further, I'm looking at Jason Kelce versus Chris Jones. Jason Kelce, all pro, future Hall of Famer. How he matches up against Chris Jones going one-on-one, that's going to be absolutely incredible to watch. Chris Jones leads all defensive tackles in pass rush win rate at that position. You look at Jason Kelce. Could this be his final game in an Eagles uniform, a Super Bowl victory? There are so many strength versus strength position battles that we are going to break down here. But yeah, Eagles and their ground game takes numero uno for me. Can we talk about Jalen Hurts just a little bit? Let's check before we get into Eagles defense versus Chiefs offense, because Jalen Hurts, what a year. What a year for Jalen Hurts this season. And I'm looking at Jalen Hurts on the center stage here in three different areas. First thing I'm looking at when it comes to Jalen Hurts is, of course, red zone offense. A huge advantage the Eagles have here is their success in the red zone. This dude scores touchdowns nearly 68% of his red zone trips. That's third best in the NFL. The Chiefs defense allow a touchdown on 67% of their opponent trips, and that is 31st in the league. So that's advantage number one, pointing to the Philadelphia Eagles. You look at one more area, Jalen Hurts versus the blitz. The Chiefs are 14th in the league when it comes to blitz percentage, 24.2%. On the other end, Hurts was blitzed at the fourth highest rate in the league and has an EPA that was 32nd when dropping back and facing the blitz. So how Jalen Hurts manages the blitz on center stage is absolutely critical. And then just limiting turnovers, man. Can Jalen Hurts continue to limit turnovers in the biggest game of his life? The Eagles are 21 in the last 21 games. Jalen Hurts has thrown one or fewer interceptions. He has been sensational in that area. You look at the history of the Super Bowl, the combined 56 Super Bowl champions have given up the ball 64 times. On the other end, the 56 losing teams have 163 turnovers. So that is just massive, and how incredible Jalen Hurts has been avoiding mistakes and how incredible this season has been. So those are the three areas I'm looking at with Jalen Hurts. Any thoughts on that?
Before we get to that, Ryan, what are your thoughts on that 75-yard punt there?
Listen,
I saw you shake your head.
Yeah, I feel like I'm really holding it back right now. So I'm proud of myself for keeping my composure because I want to flip a table. Um, no, but I mean you're absolutely right with Jalen Hurts. He didn't need to be the guy last week. That's how great this offense is. He doesn't need to always just you know be a prolific passer and whatnot. What he brings to this team is so many ways. It's not what you're going to see on the stat sheet. The just the threat of him and his legs are one thing, but he commands this offense and just has a way of leading this team down the field. And oh, nice, another sack here. So yeah, that I think is what stuck out to me last week or 2 weeks ago, I guess at this point almost, is the fact that he didn't have his greatest game, but yet they still put up 31 points. They still ran the ball down their throats, and they dominated that game. And Hurts, we have said it 1,000,000,001 times about, man, we really need to see something from Hurts this year. And man, he told us all to shut the hell up because he's got this. And he has improved leaps and bounds with another 90-yard punt. But honestly, this team, and we said it 1,000,000,000 times as well, is this team will go as far as Jalen Hurts will take them. And obviously, we've seen what Jalen Hurts is capable of.
Yep. For me, Mark, can you hear us?
Yeah. Don't know what's going on with in terms of you guys being able to see me. I can't see you guys, but yeah, I am in. I am in here just with no camera. Sorry, you guys can't see my my beautiful face.
It's all good. So, before we go to Mark, I'm going to ask you your top matchup between the Eagles offense and Chiefs defense. Some quick comments here before we get to Mark. Nick Sirianni owns Arizona, says the referee is the same one from the KC Super Bowl loss to Tampa Bay. That's the game when Sue had 1.5 sacks against Tom Brady. So hopefully that continues in or not Tom Brady.
Mahomes.
It was Mahomes. My God. Hopefully that continues in the Eagles' favor. RW Swope 87 says the Eagles are all around the better team, but they have the better coaching and more experienced coaching. No, I mean, I'd say Andy Reid has more experienced coaching. Nick Sirianni says, owns Arizona, says Mahomes is a really good passer, but their linemen are weak. I disagree. I think their offensive line is really good, but we're going to go to one matchup in that area of the Chiefs' offensive line. I can't wait to break down. That is definitely in the Eagles' favor. Do I think the Eagles' pass rush will be a problem for the Chiefs? Yes and no. First of all, I think the Chiefs can figure out how to come away with how to use their blocking protection scheme up front. And Chipotle or Wingstop? Chipotle all the way. At least that's my opinion.
Chipotle.
Definitely.
All right, Mark. Let's throw it to you, Mark. Mark, what is your top matchup to watch between the Eagles' offense and Chiefs' defense?
I think, I could – there's a lot of ways you can go there, and I think that's kind of the beautiful thing about the Eagles' offense and something that me and Shane talk about. It feels like every week on Chalk Talk is just the numbers game that the Eagles kind of force you to play. And so this is kind of broad, but I'll just take a look at the running game and against I think that's how you can attack this Chiefs defense. I think they're 15th against the rush. And that's a little bit skewed. So you see 15th against the rush and you assume, oh, this is a middle of the pack team, or maybe they're average, maybe even a little bit above average. But then you have to kind of consider the fact that the Chiefs are up in most of the games that they play. So really, you're having to throw a ton. If they were in closer games throughout the year, I think that run defense would probably be a bottom 10 run defense. And I think that's really what it is in terms of, the talent on that run defense. And I think obviously Miles Sanders will get his. I think Gainwell will get his. But I think that this is going to be a game where Jalen Hurts as a runner, is one of the X factors of the game, especially if it's a close game, especially if they have to have a drive late in the game. It seems like we've seen time and time again with Jalen in the few close games that he's had, and then just with running quarterbacks in general, even Mahomes, even Burrow, at the end of close games, they start to use those legs. And I think Jalen, I think you're going to see the fully optimized version of the offense in terms of they're not holding anything back. They're not, afraid of Jalen getting hit at this point.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna be seeing them as aggressive as possible. I think that his rushing attempts, you'll see. I think the over/under set at 10.5, 11.5, depending where you're looking. I like the over there. I think Jalen's gonna be running the place.
We're going to get into a lot of over-unders in just a little bit. I've got a lot of juicy ones that I can't wait because nobody knows what they are yet, and they're going to be a lot of fun. I've got a lot. Any reaction to anything Mark said or Jalen Hurts? The floor is yours.
I do, but first I got to ask, Ryan, Grant Calcaterra rushing touchdown?
I know! I was losing my mind over here. Like, how is that possible? Oh, I love that so much.
So that's a Madden thing because the Eagles don't have a fullback. So tight end 3 is your fullback, and they went goal line. Anyways,
they force you to have a fullback option. So
we're just going to count that as a Jalen Hurts QB sneak. We know that's how that went down.
Exactly, 90%.
On the Hurts stuff, I do think there's some reasons for concern with Hurts. Some things you can be nervous about if you want to be nervous. Hurts hasn't looked the same since he came back from injury, in my opinion. Per Pro Football Reference, Hurts has had 5 games this season where he's had over 15% of his throws graded inaccurate. It's his last 5 games. The Eagles' offensive success rate this season has been below league average in 4 games, and 3 of them were in his last 4 games. And so there's some things you could be concerned about. Now, they faced the number 1 defense in the NFL in the 49ers. They played a vanilla game in Week 18 against the Giants because it didn't really matter. And so how much of it is noise in small sample size? How much of it is something to be concerned about? I don't know. But it's something to keep an eye on because the Chiefs are a team that you can attack downfield. They got 3 rookie corners that are going to play in this game. Well, okay, they got 2 rookie corners because I think L'Jarius Sneed is back, and they have a rookie safety that are going to play in this game. When they go into dime, it's going to be 3 rookies in the secondary. You need to be able to make them pay in those matchups, and that's just been off. And whether it's injury-related for Hurts or for A.J. Brown with the hamstring, whether it's chemistry-related to missing time, I don't know. But that aspect has been a little off, and they're going to need to hit on those opportunities when the chance comes in the Super Bowl. So that's a huge thing for me to watch out for.
For me, I think that's all game flow related. I think it's just such a small sample size. And I think a lot of people, and Shane less so than, the people who are just picking whatever they can to hate on the Eagles' chances in this game, even though they're favored. That's not what Shane's doing at all. I'm kind of more so talking about the people on the outside looking in. But realistically, not Mahomes. So I looked at Mahomes on the screen and my brain went blank. Hurts went 31 for 49 in the last 2 games. And a lot of that is short stuff. So, I'm not a completion percentage guy. But we're talking about 49 passes, and realistically, we're talking about 18 incompletions. And I know that I'm not saying all 31 completions were perfect, just like I don't think all 18 incompletions were his fault, probably. So I just think it's such a small sample size. And when you're up 21-0, it's going to change the depth of target so much. When you're up so fast and different, obviously the Giants game, you just got up so fast because you're way better. San Fran, different situation. You were aware of what the situation that San Fran's offense was in. I think you played conservative. We were seeing them kind of refusing to throw the ball early in the game. And I remember I kept tweeting, like, this is how you beat them. You throw on the outsides. But they were refusing to kind of throw. They were running, and they had 3 straight 3-and-outs. And I don't put that on Hurts. I kind of put that on the play calling. Not that he's been amazing or anything. I'm not arguing he's been peak Hurts, but I don't think they've asked him to be at all, really. I think he missed 2 or 3 throws.
Yeah. Let's go to some comments real quick, and then we'll get to Eagles defense versus Chiefs offense because there's so much to break down there. Let's go to Nick Sirianni. Says Eagles are dominating the line of scrimmage in the simulation. If you're listening to the audio of this, the Eagles are up 7-0 against the Chiefs in the second quarter. 4.5 minutes left. R.W. Swope says Kansas City doesn't give up a crazy amount of sacks. They're also a lot better at O-line than a few years back. They are good. Definitely strong. San Francisco made the mistake of allowing some tight ends and non-protections on the left side. That literally lost the game for them in like the sixth play. That was pretty much the end of the San Francisco 49ers. Nick Sirianni owns Arizona, is nervous about Jalen Hurts. 110 pass yards is pathetic. I don't know, man.
Need him to. Like,
I thought he was efficient.
You were up big in both games. You didn't need him to air the ball out. Like, who cares? I don't care if Jalen Hurts doesn't have a single passing yard. Win's a win.
Yeah, they should have won 45-7.
Like come on.
I don't even
38-7. They should have won 38-7.
I am 1,000% sure that Hurts could throw for 110 passing yards and win a Super Bowl and wouldn't give a goddamn thing. He would be so happy. He wouldn't care. He would not care at all. So I'm not worried at all.
I'm with you. Who cares about that crap?
Yep. A.J. Brown was open multiple weeks for touchdowns. We're going to get into that, especially a young secondary for the Kansas City Chiefs in just a second. The Chiefs will not allow that to happen to Patrick Mahomes this time around like they did against Tampa a few years ago. We'll see. They're also smart enough to know that they have to get out the ball fast enough. That's what they do. This Kansas City Chiefs team likes to get the ball out fast. They like to get it to their playmakers and get big plays, and that's what they have done. They're an explosive offense, a ridiculously explosive offense, even without their X-star receiver. It's crazy. R.W. Swope says let's just go to – there's so many comments, guys. Keep them coming. For the sake of time, we have a lot to cover here because we also have some prop bets. So let's move to the defensive side. I'm going to throw it to you, Mark. We're going to go backwards this time around. Eagles defense versus Chiefs offense. Top matchup to watch, man. Floor's yours.
Obviously Kelsey. I mean, that's the one that everyone's going to take. And I do think, I think going into the game, you look at the personnel and I think we're kind of holding our head in fear of Travis Kelsey, just like we kind of were with George Kittle a little bit last week. And on Chalk Talk, that was the number one thing I was nervous about with San Fran before that game. They obviously, the situation kind of took that out of San Fran's hands there. But you look at the DVOA numbers, the Eagles are actually fourth against opposing tight ends. So it does seem like they've done a very good job against tight ends. And I don't think Travis Kelsey is going to get shut down by us by any means, but maybe he doesn't have 15 catches for 180 yards and 2 touchdowns. I think you just have to kind of maintain him and not let him beat you. And that's kind of what the strategy is going to be. I think you have to do whatever it takes to devote as many resources to stopping Travis Kelsey. And then at that point, just kind of saying, I'll let this, group of receivers that doesn't have a top 50 NFL receiver in it, I'll let one of these guys beat me. And they can, because Patrick Mahomes is that good. And one of the comments I'll just touch on, because they said what happened in the Tampa Super Bowl won't happen again. I totally agree. I don't know how many points Mahomes had in that Super Bowl, 14, something like that. They will not score less 9. Yeah, it might have been. Yeah, it was a terrible performance offensively. Even though you watch the game, I actually think Mahomes played pretty well in that game. But the O-line was so bad that it didn't matter. That won't happen in this game. But what the Eagles need to do, I personally think this is an over game. I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. I think it's going to be a close game. And I'm not looking for the Eagles pass rush to shut the Chiefs down and hold them to under 20 points. What I'm looking for them to do is make a couple big plays, whether that be a pick making them go 12 or 13 plays down the field and they make a mistake, or whether that be a big sack that forces them to punt on third down, or a big sack that sets them back and gets us the ball at the 40 instead of the 20. So I think that it's things like that that'll change it from being the Chiefs score
35 to the Chiefs score 28, or the Chiefs score 30 to the Chiefs score 23. That's the difference in the game, that one score, that one play. And I think that that's what this defense is designed to do, to either attack you in the pass rush or to make you go so long down the field that you make a mistake. And Mahomes, he's the greatest quarterback I've ever seen personally, but he's not adept, or he's not, I don't think adept's the right word there. He's not allergic, I'll say, to making mistakes. He has thrown a pick in both the Super Bowls that he's been in.
Mm-hmm. RW Swope agrees with you. The key will be Travis Kelce and Jerick McKinnon. The weakness of the Eagles' defense is their linebackers, especially against the pass. Nick Sirianni owns Arizona, says Kelce must be doubled. So, Ryan, what's your top matchup to watch here?
Yeah, I mean, obviously outside of Travis Kelce, because, considering the other weapons on Kansas City at this point with the injuries to their wideouts, I mean, it's what, Tony and I forget who else is out. But yeah,
Hardman,
Hardman. Thank you. So they'll have Valdez Scantling. AJ Brown touchdown. There we go.
AJ Brown, baby.
So yeah, obviously Kelce and McKinnon, of course, is one of those guys that kind of just you don't hear from, and then all of a sudden he'll have that one game where he has 100 yards rushing, 100 yards receiving. But honestly, I'm looking at this more on the opposite side. I'm looking at the Eagles pass rush. I mean, they have been dominant for so long, the entire season and the playoffs. A couple of the comments are talking, they're not going to do what they did the last time. Well, they had like half their line hurt like before the game. So obviously they were going to be a little banged up in that Super Bowl against Tampa Bay. And obviously they've done a few things to bolster that offensive line. So their offensive line is pretty decent. But that being said, you're also going up against the leading sack team in the NFL, a defense that gets pressured on the quarterback 33% of the time, a defense that gets a sack 11% of the time. I mean, their numbers are historical. They've just been winning and getting to the quarterback at alarming rates. And yes, their offensive line for the Kansas City Chiefs is much better than that previous Super Bowl. But I still don't see how they're going to, if they, again, send protection over to cover Reddick. You got Josh Sweat on the other side. Or you got Hargrave in the middle, breaking everything down. Like, they just have too many weapons to come at that quarterback. And yes, Mahomes is great about getting the ball out and doing his little sidearm and getting, space that he needs. But I'm telling you, a lot of people are talking about, we haven't faced a quarterback like Mahomes. I don't think Mahomes has faced a defense like us. Why aren't people talking about that? This defense is an historical defense. They have been playing at an amazing rate. So I don't see that not happening. And I see that us getting to Mahomes again, he's a great quarterback. No disrespect to him. And he will do what he needs to do, of course. But I still think we're going to get to him and we're going to disrupt that offensive flow.
I have a stat.
All right, go ahead. You first, Mark, because I do too.
Yeah, I have a stat that backs up exactly what Ryan just said. Of the teams in the top 10 in sack rate, Kansas City has only faced number 7 Seattle and number 8 Indianapolis. They scored 24 points against Seattle. Not great for a Kansas City offense. I think if the Chiefs scored 24, they probably lose the Super Bowl. And they actually lost 20-17 to the Colts in a game that me and Shane both bet the Chiefs on, and that was an infuriating loss. And a fun little fact about the Eagles in relation to that sack rate: the Eagles are number 1, obviously, in that stat. So the Eagles are at, I believe it's 11.5%. The highest mark of any defense since 2000. The difference between them at number 1 and the Patriots at number 2 is as big as the difference between the Patriots at number 2 and the number 29 defense in the NFL this year. That's an insane stat. Like, when I saw that, my jaw dropped to the floor. I think it was Sheil Kapadia who I saw it from.
Wow. It's awesome.
But yet your national media, they just don't talk about it. It's all about the Kansas City offense,
Oh, we haven't played anybody, right?
Yeah, of course, right. Yeah, we don't play nobody.
Yeah,
Yeah. How?
the Chiefs'
Go ahead, Jay.
interior offensive line, they've probably got the second best interior offensive line in the NFL. Creed Humphrey, my guy, a couple years ago in the draft. Joe Tooney, Trey Smith was another one of my guys in that draft. They're incredible. They've combined to allow only 3 sacks this year, and they're probably second only to the Eagles' interior offensive line. But their tackles can be had. Like Orlando Brown's a big name. He's only given up 4 sacks, but he's given up 56 pressures this year. Like he can be had. Josh Sweat's going to make a play on Orlando Brown in this game, and then the right tackle is the one everybody knows now, Andrew Wiley. He's 9th in pass block win rate among tackles, and yet he's given up 9 sacks, 53 pressures. He's got 9 penalties. He wins the majority of his reps, and when he loses incredibly fast, and it's highly impactful. Hassan Reddick will be rushing against him. When Hassan Reddick wins, he wins incredibly fast, and it is highly impactful. Like, that is the matchup to watch. And when the Eagles get pressure, they're going to get pressure. They have to finish. Patrick Mahomes only takes sacks on 10.5% of his pressures, which is the highest rate in the league. It's not enough to pressure Mahomes. You have to get him to the ground. You have to get them behind the sticks. And then you have to not give up the explosive plays. And it's incredible. Like, the Chiefs lost Tyreek Hill this offseason, and everybody thought the offense would take a step back. By EPA, they are 20% better this year. How did they lose the most explosive receiver in the NFL, and they actually generated more explosive plays this year than either of the last 2 years? And with all of that, Mahomes' average depth of target has been lower. They have more yards after the catch than any team in the last 20 years. It's the screen game. It's the ball in space, Travis Kelce making guys miss, getting yards after the catch. That's the thing that the Eagles have to watch out for. You want to take the wind out of the sails of a pass rush, get that screen game going, and nobody's better at that than Andy Reid. That's a huge thing that the Eagles are going to have to watch on defense.
But man, you guys have stolen my thunder. That's why I go last. It's all about you guys, never about me ever. But I will say, you've stolen my notes. The top matchup to watch, 100% is Hassan Reddick versus Andrew Wiley. You look at Andrew Wiley; he's given up a team high 9 sacks this year, 53 quarterback pressures, and you look up the next matchup to watch. Something that you touched on a little bit, Shane, but this is slim pickings now. And I think it's the Chiefs rushing game. I think you look at Patrick Mahomes and that ankle, you look at his ability to get the ball out fast, and you look at James Bradbury and Darius Slay and how elite they have been on the boundary. I think for them to be successful in offense, Pacheco, their offensive line, they need to cement a solid ground game in this game. I think that's where this game is going. And if they don't, they're in big trouble. So I think the Chiefs offense need to kind of hand the ball off a little bit more in this one to kind of keep the Eagles defense honest, kind of keep Patrick Mahomes out of harm's way. And that, like you said, Shane, all depends on guys like Creed Humphrey and Trey Smith and that interior Chiefs offensive line. That's a huge area in this one. Let's go into. Does anybody have any other top matchups to watch before we go into prop bets?
Yes. It wasn't a matchup, so I didn't know where to put this in. But where are games won and lost? Third downs in the red zone, right? So let me talk about those real quickly. Third down EPA per play. The Chiefs rank first in the NFL. The Eagles rank fourth. These are 2 very good offenses on third down. When you look at defense, though, the Kansas City defense is 14th in EPA per play on third down, while the Eagles is second. So they're really close on offense. The Eagles are one of the top third down defenses in the league, and the Chiefs are just average. Now you talk about red zone. The Chiefs are second in the league in EPA or in touchdown percentage in the red zone. The Eagles are third. Again, it's a slight edge to the Chiefs offense. But you flip over and you look at the defense. The Chiefs' touchdown percentage allowed on defense ranks 30th in the league. It's horrendous, while the Eagles is 11th. And so I think in both of those key matchups, third downs in the red zone, the Chiefs are slightly better offensively, but the Eagles are worlds better defensively. And so if you want to know where confidence comes from in this game, for me, it's that the Eagles do not turn the ball over and that they are a better third down team and they are a better red zone team. And then you add on to
Oh
that,
my God.
that Nick Sirianni has every edge in the world over Andy Reid once kickoff happens in terms of game management, fourth down aggression, all of those things that we love. That's what gives me all the confidence about this game.
Yeah, just to add a note, Sirianni has yet to call a timeout due to lack of play getting into the huddle. That's something we all know Andy Reid specialized in during his tenure here, and certainly his 10 years in Kansas City. So that fact alone definitely boosted my confidence, just knowing game management skills for the Eagles are at a good level.
That's definitely going to play into one of my prop bets that we'll be talking about that timeout.
My favorite thing is that as we're talking about Nick Sirianni's aggressiveness and game management, he tried a 59-yard field goal on 4th and 1 in this Madden sim.
I mean, if you can punt 90 yards, why can't you kick 60 yards, right?
Real quick, this comment. How about the Sirianni-Reid matchup? I mean, what are our real quick thoughts on Andy Reid, man? I love Andy Reid. A huge fan of Andy Reid. I think it's one of the top storylines here. Any quick thoughts?
I love Andy Reid. I mean, I grew up in the Reid of era and Dawkins and Westbrook and those guys. Like, I know there's some people that do not like Andy Reid, whatever. I grew up, I think when I think of football as a kid, I think of Andy Reid on the sideline, and he has some Achilles heels. They're still there in terms of game management. I thought it was time for him to go. I knew he would be good somewhere else. He needed a fresh start, but I love Andy Reid. I'm going to be really upset if we lose the Super Bowl to him, but I'm pulling for Reid anytime they're not playing the Eagles.
Yeah.
Let me real quick on Matt. Matt says, I love your NFL draft stuff, and he had a donation of $5. Thank you, Matt. You're too kind. Tons of more NFL draft content coming, man. I promise you. It's going to get nuts. Man. I'm obsessed. I'm just straight obsessed. Mark, I'm sorry.
No, that's awesome. There you go, Matt. Shout out to Matt. No, for sure. I definitely forgot what I was going to say, but I will.
Yes.
I got many things in my brain right now.
All right. For the sake of time, again, thank you so much, Matt, for the kind words. Truly, truly means everything. Let's jump into some fun prop bets. Guys, if you're watching us live, comment over or under, comment yes or no. This is going to be a lot of fun. I'm recording everyone's thoughts on this, and we're going to keep a score. And next week, we're going to go over who is the winner. It's going to be a lot of fun in this one. So first prop bet. What's that?
I was just going to say, can I just make one quick thing? Only if Shane cuts the videos together and puts up a big red X when we really screw up. That's all I want.
That'd be so fun. We have to do that. Absolutely. All right. We're going to try and do these quick, okay? Because we're already at 30 minutes and we still have like predictions and all this stuff to kind of break down. But again, Eagles are up 14-10 with a minute left in the third quarter. If this is actually how the game's going to go happen, man, so much. I've already got anxiety. All right, first to score here. Miles Sanders or Travis Kelce? First to score. Miles Sanders or Travis Kelce? Go ahead, Mark.
I don't have any props on either of them, but I would go with Miles. I guess I do. There was a DraftKings odds boost that was plus 100 on Hurts or Miles to score. That's usually around like minus 200. They boosted it to plus 100. So I'm usually so focused, obviously, as you guys know. Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown scorer is like I put that on my tattoo it across my forehead. But so I bet that every single week. But I'm going to have to shift my focus around the goal line now that I've got some Miles interest in there too. It's not just Jalen. So I'll say Miles. I'm biased. I gave out the Kelce stat about us being fourth in DVOA against him. I do think they're going to try whatever they can to take Kelce out of the game and try to stop giving him as many soft zones. So I do think that that's going to be their main focus defensively. I think they're going to try to make Juju and the other guys beat them.
All right, that is my Travis Kelce.
Wow, what an omen!
Oh my God! All right, the Chiefs just took the lead here in our Madden sim. Ryan Reese, first to score, Sanders or Travis?
Listen, I like to think of myself as a person who sees signs when they're presented to me. I was going to say Miles, but obviously Madden had a different view. So I'm going to say Travis Kelce just simply because he scored as we're talking about it.
All right, Shane.
I'll go Kelce as well. I think Eagles get down into the red zone. If they get a rushing touchdown, it's 50-50 if it's Hurts or Miles or even Kenny Gainwell. So I'll go Travis Kelce. He's the biggest weapon they have, and the Eagles have a lot of weapons.
All right, I went Sanders. So me and Mark versus Shane and Ryan. Let's go to the next one. Super Bowl MVP award: Jalen Hurts or the field? Jalen Hurts or the field? Go ahead, Shane.
I'll take the field. I think
Field for sure.
the winner is always going to come from the winning team. So if it's a coin flip, who wins? And then there's an outside shot. You get a Hassan Reddick 3-sack strip sack game, or you get an AJ Brown 200-yard game. So I'll take the field.
Ryan.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with Shane. I'm taking the field. Obviously, quarterback is usually the MVP of the winning team, but just hedging the bets here. There could be plenty of options outside of Hurts.
Mark.
If Mahomes is in the field, I'll take the field. But if he's not, if we're saying the Eagles win, would I rather take Hurts for MVP or the field? It's very clearly Hurts. I would take Hurts over the rest of the Eagles team in terms of winning MVP. The numbers are just so overwhelming. I think it's like over 70% of the time it's a quarterback, or in the last 10 years or something like that. But I just think that the way that the Eagles spread the ball around, I don't think any of their pass catchers are too much of a threat. I think if any of them have a big day, it'll probably go to Jalen anyway. Like Shane said, Hassan Reddick is probably the only guy that gives me pause. He could have a huge day, especially going against Wiley. But even same as the receiving game, the sacks are so spread out. So he might get some pressures, but someone else might get the sack, and he might not have the counting stats that look sexy enough to win Super Bowl MVP as an edge rusher. So I just think most likely, like 90% of scenarios, Jalen Hurts needs to play well for us to win. So, and I think he will. And I don't think the Chiefs defense scares me. So give me Jalen, Super Bowl MVP.
Jalen Hurts. I took the field. So Mark is the only one that took Jalen Hurts.
I took field if Mahomes counts. I took field if Mahomes counts. If it's just Eagles,
all right, I'll give you Mahomes is on the board. Yeah. So I'll give you the field.
Yeah.
All right, yes or no, Mark? Any quarterback to have a reception? Yes or no?
No. I don't think there will be any Philly special. Doug Peterson coached the Jags. They didn't.
Ryan.
No, not happening.
Shane.
No. I'm taking a no on that too.
Although Mahomes was talking about back behind the back passes yesterday or whatever in media day, so maybe he throws it to himself.
I'm going yes. I'm 100% going yes. Nick Sirianni is going all in on this one. All right, yes or no, Shane?
If Nick Sirianni, the Pander King, runs the Philly special, I will die.
If they're up like 2 touchdowns, they absolutely should. He absolutely should run a Philly special if they're up in the game.
Yeah, he would be a legend.
Love it. All right, next one. Shane, yes or no? Any player with a 60-yard reception?
Yes, I'll take yes.
Shane goes yes. What about you, Ryan?
I'm gonna go with no. That's a tall order, especially the way that both these offenses like to kind of do the short stuff. Obviously there's always some yak possibilities, but I'm gonna lean no.
All right, Mark.
Yeah, Jonathan Gannon's defense is so designed on stopping that I feel like I feel like the Chiefs won't have a 60-yard catch. So it comes down to me whether the Eagles do or not. I'll say no. They could, but I think that The only reason I'm saying no is because of Dick Gannon's scheme.
I think with the Eagles' explosive offense, their explosive offense, I'm going 100% yes. Give me the yes. All right, this one's fun, Mark. Joel Embiid points and rebounds versus Brooklyn on Saturday, or Dallas Goddard receiving yards.
Let's go.
we got a fumble there from Mahomes. He was Brandon.
Strip-
Graham
what
again in the
happened?
Super Bowl?
Strip sack.
Colin Reddick.
Super Bowl MVP.
Colin
Hassan Reddick.
Let's go field. Let's go field.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Especially with Calcaterra getting the one touchdown.
Yeah. Fullback. That aren't fullbacks.
Oh man, what was the question again? What were we having?
All right. The
I get
Sixers
so into the
play
Madden
Nets.
game. I think that's my problem here. I don't know if I can handle it.
All right, Eagles are down a field goal here with 4 minutes left, and they're in the red. Almost, yeah. So, Mark, Joel Embiid points and rebounds versus Brooklyn on Saturday night. So points and rebounds combined, or Dallas Goddard receiving yards.
Give me Joel. Joel's been so unreal in terms of scoring. What is he averaging? 32. So that's probably. I mean, you're probably talking about like 44 there. That's a lot. Goddard could have a good game and go under that, like, to be honest, especially being useful in the red zone. I'd have to dig into the Goddard numbers and how often he's had around 44 or less or more. I lean Joel there. My first lean's Joel.
All right. What about you, Ryan?
Goddard all the way. I don't
Goddard.
doubt Goddard has a nice day, 60, 70 yards, easy.
All
Walk
right.
in for Miles there.
There we go. Eagles take the lead. Shane, what's your thoughts?
It's unforgivable to ask a question about any sport that's not football, so I take the football.
Oh, very good. All right. Over under on Jalen Hurts QB sneaks for a first down. 3.5. Shane.
Ooh,
Under.
first down.
Under
I'll go
for
under.
Shane. What about you, Ryan?
Yeah, I got to go under. The caveat of QB sneaks for a first down. Yeah, that's a tough task to get 4 of them. But, yeah, I'm going to go
Does a
under.
touchdown count?
Yeah, I was just going to say a touchdown's not a first down, so I'm going under. Yeah.
Got to go under.
Oh, man. That's a good one. I didn't think about that. All right. I went over. All right. Over under. Jersey number of the first score. 11.5. Mark.
That's a good question. I'll go under because that gives you Brown too. I'm sure that was why you did that half number there.
Yep.
It gives you Brown, but I want Hurts. I want Hurts as the anytime touchdown. I'm running through like numbers in my head. I'm like, ooh. Yeah, no, I'll take. I was trying to think of Kansas City. Juju is in that, I think, as well. I think he's 9.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'll take the under.
All right. What about you, Ryan?
Ooh. Is this just for the Eagles or just?
No, anybody. Pacheco's number 10, FYI.
I'm going up. I'm going over.
Over for Ryan. Okay. What about you, Shane?
I'll take under. McKinnon is under 10, under 11
He's
as well.
number
right?
1, yeah.
It's a great
Yeah,
point.
yeah. I'll take under. I think there's too many playmakers under. It's pretty much betting Kelsey Goddard versus anyone else.
And Sanders.
Oh, yeah, duh. I didn't even think of Smith. Smith's obviously, and yeah, duh. Didn't even pop in my brain.
All right,
as under
Shane.
11.5.
Well, I'm also under. Shane, how many passing yards for Patrick Mahomes? 289.5. Over under.
Over. I'll take the over.
Taking the over. What about you, Ryan?
Oh, man, that is a good number. I'm going to go under. I'm going to regret it, but I'm going under.
Mark.
The reason I'm split here, my first instinct is to say over. I have this dumb thing in the back of my brain rolling around. There's a famous story when Bill Belichick was the defensive coordinator for the Giants in the Super Bowl. When he went against the Bills, they let the Bills run the ball to the point where they ran the ball so much that they weren't throwing it with Jim Kelly and they weren't taking advantage of what you could actually take advantage of on their defense. So they almost let them run it a little bit so they wouldn't throw it as much. I'm not saying that you let the Chiefs run it in this game, But I kind of understand the you don't devote any resources to stopping the run. Everything you're doing is to stop Mahomes. So maybe the Chiefs actually do end up running the ball a lot better than we think and a lot more often than we think in this game. But that's probably not likely. That's just something that I wanted to verbalize. But I'll go over. Mahomes is ridiculous.
Over.
So everything I just said.
all that for over.
All right, I'm also over. All right,
Oh.
next one. We're only
By
like
the
a
way,
quarter of the way in here. Go
I
ahead.
just got to say, if the game plays out like this, with the Chiefs driving with a minute left,
I'm
down
gonna
4,
literally.
I will have a panic attack.
Agree.
Brandon
Sure.
incoming strip sack. Here it comes. It's coming. All right. Just like
This is some Andy Reid clock.
Yeah, I was just gonna
management. 3 timeouts, and he is letting the clock run.
Yeah,
What is going on?
there you go.
Oh man, that was
There's the
brutal.
first one.
They shaved off about 100 pounds off Andy's character here in Madden.
Yeah.
All right, Mark. Touchdowns for Patrick Mahomes. Over under 3.5.
Under for sure. There, that's a high number. I think their over under in Vegas for total touchdowns as a team is 3.5, and I think it's plus money to take the over. So
Okay.
yeah, I'll take the under there.
Ryan.
Under. For sure.
Under. Shane.
I'll take the under as well.
All right. I also have the under. Isaiah Pacheco total rushing yards at 49.5. Shane.
Under. I'll take the under.
Under for Shane. What about you, Ryan?
Yeah, I'm taking under. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is coming back for this game. He'll cut into it a little bit with the carries, and of course they have McKinnon. So, yeah, got to go under.
Mark.
I'll go under. I think McKinnon's the guy to watch here out of their backfield. I think that they know that is an area, one of the very few areas that you can attack the Eagles' defense is through the air with your running back. Oh my God!
Oh my
Oh,
God.
God.
We need to just sit and watch this for a second
Right,
so I can.
Joel,
Here we go.
15
Here we go.
seconds.
We're going play by play with 15 seconds.
Hopefully,
Chiefs
no
have-
one
Chiefs have
tries
a
to do a
first and
Romo, or else
goal.
have to have an intervention.
I know.
So,
Chiefs
someone
have a
call up.
first and goal.
Someone,
They come out empty at the 9-yard line.
Oh boy.
Mahomes takes the snap. He throws over the
Oh,
middle.
no.
Travis Kelce at the 2-yard line. There are no
TJ
timeouts.
Edwards.
And the
can't
Chiefs
do
are,
it.
the Chiefs are huddling.
Cut it out. What are they doing? Hey! That's Andy Reid for you, baby.
TJ
That is the
Edwards
most
with the
fitting
tackle
end.
of his
Huddle
life.
up. They huddled.
All right, Eagles are Super Bowl champions for the Eagles, according to Madden. How about that, man?
Will they show MVP?
I don't know.
That was awesome.
I do these games, but I try not to watch them until we're live. So I don't even know what's on here.
It's fantastic.
DJ Gardner-Johnson looking nothing like himself.
It's not a great rendering of Fletch either.
No. He's only been in the league for 10, 11 years.
Yeah. On the same team.
Yeah. On the same team, looking the same way.
All right, let's keep this rolling. All right, Travis Kelce total receiving yards 78.5. Mark.
I'll go over. Is that what it is in Vegas? Actually,
I took some of these from Vegas. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's
I haven't checked that number. I was actually just curious. Yeah, that sounds low to me. I'm actually surprised. I'm gonna take a look at that. Not that I'm gonna bet it because that feels like such terrible juju to be betting Chiefs positive props. Even though I do have an Eagles negative prop that I want to run by you guys in a minute. But yeah, give me I'll take the over.
All right, over for Mark. What about you, Ryan?
Going over. I mean, listen, they're
Over for
down
Kelce.
against the Dolphins. They got to throw it to Kelce. They even if they have to force it in there.
All right, Shane.
Yeah, definite over for me.
All right. Over under Shane, number of Tom Brady retirement mentions 2.5.
Over.
Yeah.
Over for
To
Shane.
the moon. Over.
What about you, Mark?
Yeah, over. Both of these teams, the last time they were in the Super Bowl, played Tom Brady. It feels like he'll just come up pretty naturally.
Right, of course.
All right. Shane, Sanders or Pacheco or neither? 100+ scrimmage yards.
Man, Sanders. I'll give Sanders
Sanders.
100-yard game.
Ryan.
Oh man. I'm gonna go neither.
Either. What about you, Mark?
Neither pretty easily for me. I think
Okay.
it's going to be a big Hurts and Gainwell game. So I think there's a chance Hurts has like 50 yards and Miles has like 50 yards and Gainwell has like 40 yards. Like I think there's a pretty good chance that's how it plays out. So check, she's be the same way.
All right. Mark, this is to you. Jalen Hurts rushing yards 49.5. Over under.
I have it on my list, and I'll just throw it in there right now. I'm on the both Hurts overs. I'm actually on the over at 49.5. I'm also on the over at 241.5 for pass yards, which I know I've seen so many people on that under that it's only made me more confident in the over there. But like I said, I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to all fall on Hurts' shoulders, and I think he's going to have a big game. And I think this is the right defense to go against to want to have a big game, whether that be through the air or on the ground. So give me all the Hurts love, all Hurts MVP, Hurts anytime touchdown, Hurts first touchdown, the over on the pass yards, the over on the rush yards. I do have a negative one, so I'm not a full homer, but we'll get there in a minute.
Shane.
You skipping Ryan now?
Sorry, Ryan.
I need to hear Ryan's answer so I can cheat.
Right. I'm going under. Again, I just don't see Hurts needing to run the ball that much. I think he'll get real close. He'll probably get around 40, but I don't think he eclipses 50.
Shane.
I think I'm going to take the under too. He hasn't run the ball a ton since he came back from injury. I don't know if that changes in this game. We'll see, but I'll take the under.
All right, I still got like 10, so let's just do like these real quick. Shane, total Jalen Hurts direct snaps, 2.5.
Wait, total Jalen Hurts direct snaps?
Yeah, just like just gets the ball, runs.
Oh, like designed runs?
Let me rephrase that.
Gotcha. Doesn't count QB sneaks?
No,
Okay. Over under 2, you said?
2.5.
I'll take under 2.5.
All right, Ryan.
I'm going over.
Over. Mark.
I'll go over.
All right, Miles Sanders rushing yards, 59.5. Mark.
Under.
Under for Mark. Ryan.
Over.
Shane.
Over.
Kenny Gainwell and Boston Scott, total rushing yards, 39.5. Over under Shane.
Under.
Ryan.
Over.
Mark.
I'm on the under there. I am on Gainwell over 18.5 rush yards. I love that prop. I think Gainwell gets over 18.5. I also have him anytime touchdown at plus 375. But under, I don't think Boston Scott gets involved in this game.
Mark. Jalen Hurts total pass attempts, 31.
Ooh, 31.5. He had 25 and 24 the last 2 games. I'll say over. I'll say over. If he still threw 24, 25 times in those games, I think this game will be close. So yeah, give me over.
Ryan.
Man, that's a good number.
It is.
I'll go over, but man, I don't think he hits it by much.
Mm-hmm.
Shane.
I'll take the over as well.
All right, Shane. Jalen Hurts touchdowns in the first half, 1.5.
Over.
All right, over for Shane. What about you, Ryan?
Under.
Mark.
Over.
Jalen Hurts interceptions, Mark, 0.5. Over under.
I'll go under.
Ryan.
If for only to keep the football gods at bay, I'm going to go say under. I'm not going to wish for an over on this one.
Shane.
Under.
All right, Dallas Goedert total reception, Shane, 6.5.
Under.
Yeah.
Under for Shane. What about you, Ryan?
I'm going to go over. I think
All right.
there's a little work in the middle.
Mark.
Ryan, then you should go bet that then, Ryan, because I think it's at 4.5. So yeah, I'm on the under at 6.5, but I'm on the over at 4.5.
Right. Swope is saying, why isn't Dobbs giving his answers? We don't have time.
Is that
I'm trying to rush.
Later.
That's how we cheat. Half his answers are Nick Sirianni and Gannon.
Hold on. To be fair, I've already done my answers, and I'm going to share my screen right now. Just because Ryan does nothing but whine all the time. All right, there it is. Can you guys see that?
Yeah, we got it.
All right. Sorry, Mark. What'd you say? Over under for Dallas Goedert?
Yeah, I'll go under on the 6.5. Yeah.
All right, Mark. AJ Brown total receiving yards 89.5.
I'll go under. That's a lot. It's a high number.
Yep. Ryan.
Same under. It's a lot.
Bane?
Under.
What up, Mitch?
All right, and Devontae Smith total receiving yards, Shane 62.5.
Over.
Ryan.
Over. He's been outperforming Brown on the stat sheet the last couple of games, so let's keep it going.
Mark.
I'll go over.
Love it. Mark. Eagles pass rush total sack 4.5. Do they get more than? Where are you at with that? Over under.
Is that number set because of the record? I believe if they get 5, they have the most sacks in a single season in NFL history. They passed the 84 and the 85 Bears. So for that reason alone, I'll go over.
Love it. Ryan.
Same reasoning, same result. Over.
All right, Shane.
Man, I'm
Come on,
gonna
keep the
say
juju going.
nah. I'm saying under.
Boo.
Patrick Mahomes has not had a 5-sack game this season. Hasn't happened.
He hasn't played
And then last question: total touchdowns in the game 7.5.
Am I up first on this one?
Yep.
I'm gonna say under. That's a big number. That's a high scoring game.
Under Ryan.
Oh man, 7.5. Yeah, I gotta go under. That is a lot.
All right, Mark.
Yeah, I'm going to go under because I think the difference in the game is Andy Reid settles for too many field goals. I think we'll save that for the score prediction. But yeah, I have 7 touchdowns on my score.
All right, there's our scorecard. We'll revisit that next week on Birds of the Roundtable. Let's just jump right in. What's going on? Thanks for joining, man. So yeah, there's my answers, Swope. There it is. All right, let's get into final predictions, player of the game. Shane, lead us off. What's your gut feeling?
I feel good about this game. I think this is going to be an awesome game. I think it's going to be a really good Super Bowl. The Eagles are better at every position except quarterback and tight end. And tight end is not a drastic difference. To me, I view this as a battle of the best quarterback to ever play the game and a roster that is simply too good to fail. I say the Eagles win the game. I think the pass rush gives them an edge, and I think the coaching. The Eagles have better coaching, which seems crazy to say. The Eagles have better coaching. They've got a better roster. They're going to win this game. I will say 31-27.
All right. What about you, Ryan?
Yeah, I am wildly confident. I am definitely walking around sticking my chest out. I do think it's going to be a close game, though. I think it's going to be back and forth. I think we're all going to suffer some minor heart attacks throughout Sunday. I'm going to go 34-31 Eagles.
Wow.
And I think it's going to be kind of like last time, down to the wire.
Love it. Quentin says Chiefs 30, Eagles 24. To be fair, that's reverse psychology 100,000%. Because that's what he does. That's what he does. I see what you're doing, Quentin. I like it. What about you, Mark?
I just want to, before I give the score, I just want to throw the 2 bets that I was mentioning out. I touched on most of my that I love in this game. My 2 favorite bets I actually haven't yet. My favorite is a lifetime of Andy Reid has prepared me for this moment. and the Chiefs are minus 115 to call the first time out of the game.
Yeah.
On the season, the Chiefs have called the first time out in 15 of 19 games. 12 of those were considered waste timeouts. Since he's come into the league, Nick Sirianni has not called a waste timeout. And in this season, he's only called the first time out 7 of his 19 games. So I think that is just that actually might be my favorite bet of the game. To be quite honest, like I might bet anything else in the game, which is such a weird way to watch the Super Bowl when your favorite team's in it. But I think there's tremendous value there in minus 115. And then on the other side of things, my favorite thing in terms of the Eagles is team total over 25.5. This team is scoring 26 plus in this game against this defense. They scored 31 against the San Francisco 49ers defense. They scored 38 against the Giants defense. And some people won't love this. The Giants defense is better than the Chiefs defense. And I know that the game script will be different, but I honestly think if they score, it might push us to score even more. So I love the Eagles team total over there. And my score is Eagles 31, Chiefs 30. Chiefs score with 2 or 3 minutes left to go up 30-28. And Jalen Hurts leads a drive down the field with including a long 10 to 20 yard run for a first down to set us up in field goal range. Jake Elliott comes in and seals the deal. We're partying down Broad.
Love it, man. I'm kind of in that same boat. I think this is a high-scoring game. I'm in that 38-5 range. Eagles get the W in this one. I think this is going to be a great game, just like everyone said here. Back and forth. So that's really, at the end of the day, I think the Eagles win this one in the trenches. It will be the Eagles' offensive line cementing their will. It'll be the Eagles' defensive line making the play of the game that maybe leads to a turnover or something along those lines. A strip sack, who knows? I am just so confident that the Eagles are better than the Chiefs in both of those areas. And football is simple, man. At the end of the day, it's all about winning in the trenches and the Eagles winning the Super Bowl. So I'm going to throw it to you, Mark. Plugs. We're wrapping up the show here. Time's yours.
Yeah, I'll be on, obviously, every Saturday. I have the Tough Cover Radio Show on iHeartRadio on Fox Sports The Gambler from 11 to 1 every Saturday. But then this week, I am doing a special radio show from 7 to 9 on Thursday called the Prop Bowl, where they're getting all the show hosts from The Gambler together for a mega show from 7 to 9. That's on Thursday. And I'll be on from 5 to 6 on Thursday as well on there. So whole lot of me on Fox Sports The Gambler airwaves this week. And what a week for that to be the case.
Love it. What about you, Ryan?
Yeah, just doing the normal shtick this week. I think we're doing the Football Smack Talk show tomorrow with me and Eric, as we had to switch from our normal time slot on Mondays, but still normal shows throughout the week. Just make sure you visit Philly Sports Alliance, best place, YouTube or Facebook. Put on those automatic notifications. You get all of our shows. You get all the TPL shows. Coming through Facebook, best way to check us out, and make sure you guys are following all of these guys, because honestly, this is the most fun I have every week, just chopping it up with these guys. So, good people.
Oh man, what about you, Shane?
Let me interrupt Shane real quick. I realized like this.
New.
I disrespected Shane by not mentioning Chalk Talk because I'm so used to not having to plug Chalk Talk when I'm on with Shane because I'm giving this plug talk on Chalk Talk. So we actually do a podcast, me and Shane together. So yeah, that's another thing.
Yeah, Chalk Talk and Mark interrupting me. It's it's
that's
part of
that
the
you can bet on that. That's minus 160.
Yeah, and we are minus 3,000 to go over an hour. So. So, yeah, you can check out mine and Mark's podcast, Chalk Talk. We're going to be going live shortly after this show. We're going to take a brief intermission, and then we're going to go live with an in-depth Super Bowl preview. And, man, that will be this is my third podcast of the week. Chalk Talk will be my fourth. I've got 3 more on the docket. I've got at least 7 podcasts this week that are coming out. So keep it tuned. I've got one on the Chalk Talk feed right now, a crossover podcast with Chiefs podcast. I'm going to have Johnny Page from BGN on later this week for another X's and O's sort of preview. So A lot of content coming down the pipeline, and a couple really exciting things that I am on the cusp of announcing that I can't just quite yet because I don't have all the pieces put together.
Ooh.
But so keep it tuned on Twitter and on the Chalk Talk feed because I've got some stuff coming up soon.
Nice. Love it. Muted.
How did that happen? Mike says, I think it's 50-50. Swope says Birds 27, Chiefs 23. Obviously, you can find me covering the NFL draft. That's been my baby over the last 2-3 months. I've been just focused and obsessed with it. So if you're looking for anything NFL draft related, you can find it here on the channel, wherever you get your podcasts. Follow everyone here. These are the beasts when it comes to Eagles content, man. Just amazing follows on Twitter. It's all right there underneath their ugly faces. Thank you everyone who commented tonight. Comments were terrific. This is Birds of the Roundtable. Every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock, we break down everything. And just, my God, the Eagles are in the Super Bowl. Let's go. Let's go.
Who would have thought when we started this show that we'd be talking about the Super Bowl?
I did.
Out of here.
Let me just point out, we're here right now. We're like 11 out of 10 as Eagles fans. I'm gonna say it, Shane. I'm sorry. Week 1, post game, or I think it was Birds of the Roundtable when Shane called out Jonathan Gannon to put his head on a pike and asked him to resign after the Detroit Lions.
It is very obvious. It's very obvious that Jonathan Gannon listens to Birds of the Roundtable.
Exactly.
Took my advice. He might have gone to my YouTube channel at Shane Half NFL and seen some of the breakdowns on how quarters is supposed to work, and here we are. So you guys want to learn from the same person Jonathan Gannon did, go check out my YouTube. There's lots of great stuff there.
I mean, there's no evidence that it didn't happen, so.
All right. We are wrapping up. Went way too long as expected. Again, Birds of the Roundtable, Tuesday nights, 8 o'clock. Chalk Talk, go check them out. Philly Sports Alliance, amazing Philly sports content creators there. For Shane, for Mark, for Ryan, for myself. Stay awesome, everyone. Go Birds! We'll see you next week. Stay, everyone.